So this binder is essentially everything that I collected throughout the investigation.
Hannah Lopresto is serious about using what she says happened to her at Egan High School to protect other students.
My hope is to get people's attention and hope that they listen and understand and see that this isn't just about what happened to me.
She wants training to be reinforced for mandated reporters in schools and for the law to be strengthened. She believes teachers were aware of what she calls grooming behavior by her former band director, Brett Benson. She says she told police he later sexually assaulted her on the last day of her senior year. Benson, who was not charged in the case, denies allegations of wrongdoing.
I remember several teachers specifically who had, walked in on us being alone together in a room where didn't need to be. It was a strange time of day. They seemed confused, so I desperately didn't want them to tell. But now, when I look back, that could have saved me if they did tell.
Her recollection was corroborated as part of an Egan police investigation conducted by Detective Chad Clausen, with statements from educators in the police report.
We need to speak up and say something when you see something that doesn't seem safe or seem right.
Lopresto wants mandatory reporters to be required to report maltreatment to include students who are 18 through 21. Right now, they only have to report maltreatment to students 17 and under.
This is state statute changes that I'm advocating for.
And the changes she wants to see extend to the classroom. She's advocating to add curriculum on consent and to require sexual abuse prevention rather than encourage. More than a dozen states currently have both.
The biggest piece for me would have been to be able to understand what a healthy relationship looks like and being able to identify what we would call red flags of what is something that is potentially abusive or not.
She thinks there's room for improvement in the process for revoking a teacher's license. The district put Benson on administrative leave during the investigation. He later resigned. Lopresto wants the Department of Education to be able to lift the 3-year statute of limitations.
There are some loopholes there where they're restricted to when they can investigate incidents. That's concerning.
They could look into the more recent events of what this teacher had done at the school. They weren't allowed to talk to me because I was more than 3 years prior. It just doesn't make any sense to me why there'd be a statute of limitations on looking into child sexual abuse at school.
On that note, Lopresto would like to reduce the burden of proof for having a teaching license revoked, and she'd like to see grooming be its own chargeable offense.
I think that that's a big miss because it feels almost as if then you're waiting for it to escalate, right? We should be able to cut it off sooner.
Lopresto has met with leaders in District 196 in an effort to prevent abuse at her alma mater, looking for change with mandated reporting training, sexual abuse prevention education, requiring students to be in groups of 2 or more when with a teacher or chaperone on overnight field trips, and creating a new policy on responding to sexual abuse. A representative told WCCO it thanks Hannah for her advocacy and the district continue to review our practices around student safety and update our policies and practices. The district did adopt a new policy this year titled Employee-Student Relationships, reinforcing an educational environment in which all students are treated with respect and dignity. One section reads, sexual relationships between school district employees and students, without regard to the age of the student, are strictly forbidden and may subject the employee to criminal liability. Lopresto says through this process, she realized the value of speaking up and is determined to make a difference.
To see how you can take something so terrible, something that filled you with shame and guilt and fear, and just see how far you can go. This just taught me that perseverance and bravery really can get you far if you're willing to just keep going.
In Egan, Jennifer Mayerle, WCCO Investigates.